Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and this video right here is all about how do I file my taxes for free. Now, when I was in college, guys, I used to use a company called TurboTax, and it was always free, but whenever I actually did the taxes, there was always like a little point at the end saying, well, because you have this form right here, or this right here, in reality, it's not going to be free, okay? And then I had to go ahead and basically pay money. And once I went to H&R Block, that was my first company ever I did taxes with, and they were like, hey, yeah, it's not gonna be free, we'll charge you X amount. Now, one thing that I hate is false advertisement. Not saying they're doing fake advertising, but I hate when somebody says, hey, something is free, but then all of a sudden you just don't qualify. I'm so sorry. But in reality, if I knew what I knew today in this video, I would have gotten away with never paying any money for my taxes at all. Because in reality, as long as you don't make over 72K per year in AGI, adjusted gross income, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna qualify to actually file your taxes for free. Now, I don't want to start any drama in this video. However, you ever ask yourself like, okay, if the IRS knows everything about our income and makes sure that basically nobody basically goes under the radar and kind of like doesn't pay taxes, why don't they just make like their own tax software? Why not make it easy on us? And in reality, if you wonder that, so have I, right? So when you do research on this, it turns out that basically New Zealand, it takes 5 minutes to do your taxes with those people over there. And then also China, it takes 1 minute to do your taxes over there also. Why? Because their system is basically, hey, we're gonna send you a document after the year is over. Here's how much we think you actually owe in taxes. If it's correct, click yes, boom, you're done, okay? Or if it's not correct, ask for a correction, we'll correct it, and it might take, for example, maybe 1 to 2 days to get back to you, but that's about it, okay? But in America here, we spend around $10 billion in taxes every single year just to file, also the software, also the accountants, also all these things. So in reality, we've created an industry. And when you have an industry, if you ask yourself, well, why do we still have this whole problem here? Because again, no drama here, but it's usually the rumor around town is basically that the big companies, the software companies, they do a lot of lobbying to make sure that basically taxes are very complicated and the IRS does not make their own free software so that way they can keep making money. However, there was an arrangement because they only accepted this that basically if those software companies allowed us, okay, to actually file this for free as long as we make, for example, a certain amount of money. So if you make 72K, you will be able to qualify for this. However, you can always verify. And again, it's not 72K in just gross income, but in adjusted gross income after the standard deduction, or for example, after an itemized deduction. If you don't know what it is, you got to speak to a CPA or just go to Google because everything is on Google. Type in adjusted income calculator and it'll give you everything you actually need. However, let's start this video. If you guys are new here, I post every single day, so make sure to also like and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. Now, Tommy, how do I find it exactly if I qualify to actually go ahead and use a software? And which software companies for taxes actually allow me to do this, which ones actually work and which ones don't work? Now, the idea is that whenever I want to find something out, you know where I go? I go straight to the source. So I go ahead and say, hey, where is the biggest source for taxes? That's going to be the IRS. So I'll teach you exactly how to do this correctly without making sure that you actually get, well, with making sure that you don't get scammed or anything crazy. So again, all you want to do is you want to go to Google, my best friend, and you want to type in IRS free tax filing. Okay, that's all you want to type in here. And you want to click, for example, the first link right here. IRS free tax filing. Click it. Great. And right here, it'll say, hey, okay, here we are. Here's the free tax filing little website. If you don't want to do all this stuff, just click the link down below in the description that takes you exactly to this website. But once you're here, what do you do next, okay? Well, what you want to do next is basically, by the way, look at this, okay, guys? Are these programs safe? The answer is yes. Your information is protected from any unauthorized assets while it's sent to the IRS. Okay, so basically, they're safe. You're fine. What is free? Everything is basically free. The software companies allow you to file for free. They should not charge you any money. On top of that is free file offered by the IRS. Well, in reality, it's more like a little partnership because they call it like partners, okay? But in reality, they should just make their own software and make things a lot more easier like other countries out there. And they could do it if they actually wanted to. Now, here is the biggest thing. So to find the software that fits you and your situation, you want to go right here where it says browse all. Browse all the software companies out there. Click it. And it shows you basically all of the companies here. You have Free Tax USA, you have TaxSlayer, you have the Tax Act, you have, for example, TurboTax, the one that I used to use all the time when I was in college, was free, but never was free. Ugh, TurboTax, I love you, but I didn't like that. You have a bunch of other companies also, okay? And by the way, if you don't recognize them, it doesn't matter because in reality, they're all safe to use, so don't really worry about it that much. Now, you want to make sure this actually qualifies for you, okay? So you want to type in right here where it says adjusted gross income or AGI. Type in your adjusted gross income. In my case, let's say I make $40,000 in adjusted gross income. Let's say my age is also, for example, 24 years old. Let's say, can I actually earn income tax credit? For most people out there, it's going to be yes. Or if you don't know what this is, just basically click this, copy and paste it, and then just look it up on Google. That way you basically know. That way you don't have to do like a whole bunch of work, okay? But usually for most people, it's gonna be yes. Are you active in the military? In my case, I'm not, but thank you for your service. And then the state of residence, we can say, for example, New York. And then boom, you have all my information there. And I click, for example, apply filters. And now this shows me basically all of the companies that are going to allow me to file with them, again, for free. In this case, I have Tax Act, you have OLT, IRS free filing program, and basically all of these companies right here. You pick one and you say, hey, let me go ahead and view this offer. Let's click, for example, TaxSlayer, boom. It takes me here to the website, and then guess what I can do? I can start basically filing my entire thing just like that. And yes, it is going to be free, 100% accurate, and 0 to file. Again, it's cool, but if you make more money, it's a little complicated, then you might run into some issues. But in reality, you should be able to actually do it for free. So I recommend this instead of going out there and saying, hey, I'm going to use this free software that got offered to me. But then at the end of the road, they say, hey, because you have this or have that, we're going to charge you some money. And I I can't stand when somebody offers me something, but then basically it turns out not to be true. And then it turns out not to be true. So overall, guys, this is a very simple video, but I want you guys to basically get the summary here. The idea is that if you make less than $72,000 in adjusted gross income every single year, you should qualify to actually get your taxes done 100% free without worrying about paying somebody either $120 or $60, because again, all those little dimes, they add up, and if you grab that money, you invest it, potentially makes you even more money for the future. On top of that, it does not matter if you are full-time, part-time, self-employed, or retire, or whatever else, okay? You should be able to qualify. It's mostly an income thing, so go ahead and use the IRS free tax website. Now, if you have a business, then obviously that's a little bit more complicated, and you want to itemize your deductions, and that way you can get the most tax savings possible. By the way, fun fact is that in America, I think we're like 33rd, if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to the countries. You know, we're very wealthy, right? One of the wealthiest countries in the world, but we also pay the least amount of taxes. But we also complain the most about taxes because they're so complicated. So potentially we could make this a lot more simple, but we don't because of lobbying. Oh my gosh, okay? But I don't want any drama, so let's end it right here. And that's basically a quick tutorial about how to get your taxes done for free. Hopefully you get like the TurboTax one. They have great software, but if you don't get the TurboTax one, all the software here is pretty good because again, it's competition. When you have competition, it improves companies overall, and it should just be, for example, very simple. One advice is this, okay? Don't tell yourself, I cannot do my taxes on my own. If all you have is a W-2 and maybe like a little 1099 over here and maybe like a Schedule C over here, it's not that complicated at all. If you have any questions, just type it into Google. Really, it can save you a bunch of money. Unless you have, for example, you have like a lot of complicated things, a lot of deductions to actually think about. In reality, most likely, it's going to be simple enough to actually do. I did my taxes while I was in taxes for the first like four 4 years or so. And then I only got an accountant once I had like my business, and then I needed someone that can basically do like the whole process. If you have that, the accountant I use, her name is Sasha Wise. So she works with Wise Tax Accountant over in Florida. I'll put a link down below if you want to go over there. If you guys want a deal, say, hey, Sasha. Or if Tammy answers, say, hey, Tommy sent me, okay? Tommy sent me from YouTube. I want a discount, okay? And this should be able to hook you up. I'll put a link down below. Also, I'm not sponsored. I don't get money, but if I have a great service and I can offer it, why wouldn't I, okay? That's the whole point. Hopefully, this video helped you guys in some way. Thanks for watching. Any questions, comment down below, let me know. That's what I'm here for, and I'll get to work on those videos also. As always, like this video, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot with the channel. Thank you guys so much. On top of that, if you guys want to DM me, well, DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. If you want to call me and talk to you one-on-one, join me on my third channel. It's called Ask Tommy Bryson, where I take calls from Monday to Friday from 12 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, okay? Join me over there. Link is down below. On top of that, also, if you want to watch more content on investing, for example, here's a video right here. Click my face right here, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys tomorrow. And as always, peace.